Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a GW Panther, the Tier 7 German SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Siegfried Line, and it's under the command of a fingernail clipping. Game on! 15-inch howitzer. 15 inch? No, 15 centimetre. Wow, a 15-inch howitzer. That would certainly be a very big gun indeed. Yes, that would make a big impression on the game. No, it's actually a 15 centimetre howitzer. It's capable of doing 600 alpha, 39mm so 7.2 meters on the burst radius, between 10 and 18 seconds of stun. This is a tier 8 game with tier 7 tanks in it. Okay, we've got enemy tanks coming right the way down to the bunker. Oh, he put a near shot on that Skoda T17 and he's relocating already. I don't think the enemy saw where he was, or at least they probably didn't have a clue exactly at this moment. Well, one of the good things about shooting from this position is that you can actually shoot the enemy tanks right up the other end of the road. And in fact, in that little corridor, he just hit it, I think it was a BZ-176, and smacked him with a 15 centimetre shell. Now, because it was a blind hit, we don't know the exact value. In fact, we don't even know which tank it was for sure. But he's going now for a 152. No, just missed him. And now we've got a special event happening near the gates. So this could be interesting. That XM57, very low on hit points. And now he's out the game. So that's taken out one of the enemy's best tanks. Or at least one of their newer tanks. I think the special event's having a big effect on my computer and slowing down the replay a little. We just saw some of the buildings detonate. I was saying the other day, and people agreed with me, that we ought to have the ability to knock down buildings. If we could knock down a building, we could actually change the map to a certain extent. And that's basically what they're doing in the special event. They're actually changing the map. Now, if that did actually happen, then we could block certain highways and make it much more difficult for the enemy to use certain areas of the map. And of course, we could also collapse a building on top of the enemy tanks, which might put them out of the game as it is. Certainly something they could think about, because after all, if they can put it into the game in a special event, they can certainly do it for tanks that are actually doing or firing into buildings. In fact, actually, why not be able to set fire to those buildings as well and watch them burn down? But there's lots of possibilities that we've suggested over the years, including the ability to set fire to the scenery, and of course also to create smoke, which would then block other people being able to see where our forces are, or could blow smoke canisters out. That would be a good target, but going for the ELC M90. No, we fired, and so that shell unfortunately not doing anything. Yes, I mean, it's in the game for frontline, and if they can do it for frontline, they can certainly do it for a tank to select a different type of shell, a smoke canister shell, so they can actually put some more smoke into the battlefield, make it more difficult to spot the enemy. Rounds out the Crusader SP. 105 hit points of damage and some stun, and he's using the 4.5-inch howitzer. Now, we've marked the spot, or have we? No, we haven't. Normally I do that. I mark the spot to actually say that's where I'm aiming, but he's held the... He's still there because you're still seeing the tracer, but he held the rescue and he's got the kill. he actually held down his his left-hand mouse key to actually hold on to that spot. And when he fired again, even though the rescue on the screen was moving about, he actually did have the shell directly onto the Crusader, and now he's got his second kill. Rounds out the SU-100. He takes a splash for 179. At the moment, we don't have good angles on some of the enemy, but we do have good angles on others. This SU-100M1, it's a poor angle, but that Project Ion, we do have an angle on him for the moment. And now we can shoot at this XM57. Rounds out. Well, he splashed him with a bit of stun. And the Wizzy 132 should at this point be able to get around him. Except, of course, he's not doing that. We're winning by 2 at the moment. But that Wizzy Wizzy 132 left the XM57 alone. Rounds out. Well, that's better because he's tracked this time on one side. And the Wizzy's coming in to do some damage. Of course, we're getting the stun assist off this. And he goes down and we got the rest of the stun assist. Now that Borsig is doing a lot of damage as well. So we're going to try and put a shell on him. Rounds out. Yep. 200 hit points of damage. He goes down. We got the stun assist off him as well. This is a really good battle. Fingernail Clippings getting some really good damage. There's only 2 enemies left and they're both in that little area there. Some of our guys who are peeling off to go to the enemy cap area. I don't think they need to now. Okay, well the Project Ion just got stunned. You can see we've got an angle through that gap there. The buildings are kind of getting in the way there at the moment. Okay, he wants to get the SU-100M1, but I think the Project Ion is a more important target at the moment. He's backing up. Fire the shell. Oh, he could have fired on that spot, but he didn't. The Project Ion. Oh, we lost the SU-152. I'm not sure why a fingernail clipping's bouncing all over. It's indecision. Either that or he's trying to eat a meal. Well, he does get a hit on an SU-100 there. And now it's only the Project Ion left, but there's only 3 left on our team. And he's not being very cooperative when it comes to getting an angle so we could actually shoot at him directly. The buildings are getting in the way. I think he's trying to get a line so he can shoot down that gap. And what does the Project Ion do? He actually moves so he gets around that. Okay, we've got a shot. Now, rounds out. Okay, got some stun. And yes, the Project Ion is now feeling the wrath of that T-17, who's emptying his clip into the rear. And we picked up a nice amount of stun assist off that. Up to 2,500 of stun assist. So this might be an ace tanker game. Still got a red line. So I think one of the towers at the gates might be in the way. He fires around in at the Project Ion, gets some stun, and they got the kill shot, and that wins the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for a fingernail clipping in the GW Panther. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 12. He got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And the win 8 from that one, 2,695, which is Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That went to that SU-100M1. He got 3,511 hit points of damage, and he picked up the high caliber. Second highest damage turned out to be the Wizzy 132, got 2,640. And the third highest damage was, in fact, Borsig on the enemy team, who got 2,429. We can see here that fingernail clipping got 1,762. he was actually beaten by 3 members of the enemy team, 2 members of his own team, puts him in 6th place when it comes to damage. When it came to kills, though, we can see top scorer is the SU-100M1 with 4 kills. 3 kills went to the Wizzy-132, 2 kills went to a fingernail clipping, the XM57 and EBR Hotchkiss on his own team, and on the enemy team, their Borsig, their Project Ion, and their XM57 all got 2 kills as well. When it came to base XP, he's top 1400. He was tier 7 in tier 8 game, and he was hitting tier 8 opponents. So obviously he was getting 10% extra from every bit of damage he did to the enemy tier 8 tanks. 1015 went to the Wizzy 132, 1012 went to the Skoda, who also picked up a Confederate, and they were the only 3 tanks who actually managed to make it over 1,000 base in the game. He fired 17 rounds, so a decent amount of ammunition expended and a good result. 6 direct hits on the enemy, none of them penetrated, but he did get 17 splashes. 1,762, all of it at more than 300 meters, damaged 80 of the enemy, killed 2, so there's the Confederate. 2,914 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns, and that was the ace tanker. On a free-to-play account, he actually made a profit of 18,570 credits, and he also got 2,800 base XP out of that one. Well, not base, actually, because that's the base figure. That's the final figure, 2,800 experience points out of it as well for an 8-minute game, 8.5 minutes to be precise. So another nice little ace tanker from a fingernail clipping. If you enjoyed that game, please give that video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.